Thank you. I quit architecture 45 years ago when I realized how impactful and how important is the photography and will be the photography in our time. 45 years ago decision, now we see how important more and more became photography to creating connection between humanity, to creating a connection between the culture and bringing community together, because we only get attracted to someone who we know about him. And knowing these days it's happening about photography. So for 45 years, I was roaming almost the whole planet, but mainly being in the war zones, mainly being in the conflict zone, mainly being in the refugee camps, with the people who are suffering for some reason that it shouldn't be suffered. Being with the people who don't have voices to tell their stories, so I will become the storyteller through them, to tell their stories. And this was obviously for me using every possible visual way, which was the magazines, but the millions of the copies, different type of the magazines, not only one, but thousands of thousands in every languages, because photography is a universal language. Photography is comprehensive with everybody in the else. We have very few visual disconnection between the civilization. When the white in one civilization, it means black in other, but usually it's a common language. Usually it's a universal language. So using the magazine and media was one of the way. Another one was publishing the books. With my wife Rachel, we published more than 40 books telling always the same stories, but not using only toward the trouble, toward the suffering, but also showing the beauty that exists in the humanity. Because in reality, the photographer, we are attracted by the beauty. We want to bring the people through beauty to live the life, to love the life. But then we see also that the suffering is, so we have to show this one too. Another way, being an architect, I realized that the city's wall is overtaken by billboard for advertising matter. Why not use those walls also to tell the stories of the humanity? Why not take the same walls that only use for advertising for the people who are passing through, and to show them other stories? That's how in 45 years, almost, I have done more than 360 exhibitions outdoor. Everywhere that possible, that people, they have to go through. The railway station, the metro station, or even the hospitals, the prisons, the schools, everywhere that you have to go for another reason, so you could see the photographs also, and you could get to know about what's happening there. So this is another way of using photography, the power of photography for humanity, for bringing those stories. For example, in this one, it's the story of the refugees shown in the Seine River, over 400 meters, for millions of the people that they are going there, not for an exhibition, but they have passed through and they see those stories. All of those exhibitions, it's also part of the connecting, not only directly, but indirectly also. So I use conferences, I use being in the exhibition, telling the stories and explaining to the people. And obviously, bring more and more attention of the people, like in this one, bringing Mr. Guterres, the General Secretary of the UN, to come to the exhibition about the refugees in the Seine River, where few million people passing through and going to see it. Different way using photography is also creating a momentum, creating a message like Iran, for Iran, when the Iranian people starting demonstrating against the government. So this is another way of using photography, creating a momentum when the visual will tell the stories immediately and directly. But what is the language of the renewed humanity? We had started here in Florence the literature, the writing, the books to bring the humanity to the Renaissance. This was started through the writings, and this is how the writing started. Almost 5,000 years ago, we have the first sign of the cuneiforms coming out of the history. This is where the first times we started creating alphabet to tell our stories. 2008 later, of the first cuneiform, we find Cyrus Cylinder, who is writing the first human rights convention. This is almost 500 years BC, 2,500 years ago. We are start getting the stories of the humanity, writing in alphabet that we have invented. Then came internet. Fast forward. What's happened when internet came, when the mobile phones came? We needed a new way of connecting to the people immediately. That's what we started. For whom that remember using the mobile phone and the signs, writing this. These are the first time that we start coming from here to using this one. That's, if you see here, similarities, that finally in the internet time, we find necessity to creating a common language for humanity. After the cuneiform came the hieroglyphs. Now we are also invented our new hieroglyphs, the civilization that worldwide we need to get connect to each other. And what is this language? What is the hieroglyph of our time? Is the emojis, is images. Image became the language of the humanity. That's why the Reza Visual Academy organization, which we have founded with Rachel, it's spreading the knowledge about journalism, media, photography all around the world. From creating the first magazine for Afghan women in Afghanistan, by bringing 8 mobile cinema to the villages to tell films, to show the stories to the village people, or creating in the refugee camps, the classrooms, giving the children to tell their own stories through the photography. But more than this, the internet now is the best way to educate children using the photography to the main problems of our society. One of them is environmental awareness. One of them is environmental knowledge for the children. How we bring the children to take care of the environment, ecology. They have to love nature. So by launching this international photography contest, but the theme is, I love nature, I fear pollution. Thousands of the children all around the world participate. Thousands of the children going and photographing what is the nature and how they have to understand about the ecology. This is the only way to the curiosity of the children, bring them to have an interest to the environmental issues and ecology. So We have done it recently, exhibition in the COP29 for everybody participating in the COP, and we are launching the next one here. So the next one here for the children will be all around the world participating is the photography competition about the water. Water is life, no water, no life. And all of them is how we could use this new language, universal language, which is photography, to power the humanity. Thank you very much.